Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're going to go over the CPro platform from CapitALL Markets Elite Group. Talk about how I have things set up, why I set them up that way, show my hotkeys, talk about execution speed, commissions, talk about the difference between demo and live accounts. I'm going to show you how I personally funded it via Wise as a US citizen. And this is not at all financial advice. These overseas brokers especially carry more risk, but I'm simply sharing what I have done. So, without further ado, this is how I have it set up. I have other videos on my channel going over my whole trading setup. You should check those out if you're interested, in Chartswatcher platform, why I have it set up this way. But generally, I have this main screen here. I have a couple side displays for extra charts. Some other things that I'm looking at while trading, nothing extraordinarily important to success as a trader, but um, this is basically all I need. So I have my charts, my scanners over here, news, all that, and then this is my broker, just in this little block, just in this little box. I coded this line to go around it so I could see whenever I'm clicked into it versus when I'm not. I'll probably do another video of that at some point in the future. But this is how I have it set up. So there's a couple things you'll notice. Number one, I have a chart up here, which seems like a weird position for a chart, but I can show you why I use this in a live video. But I do have a chart up here. I have the positions tab right here. These I don't really check, but you could have some other things you could flip through. But basically, chart positions window. This is a clock from Webull. It's just a sticky on top tab. And then this will be the level 2, the time and sales. And this is needed for Chartswatcher API linking. Um, we'll go into that later in the video. But just to kind of show you how the platform works and, what it looks like while actually trading, I'm going to share this right here. This is just a
Page.
little bit of a live trading archive of a stock that was moving really quick. So you can see how the time and sales, it doesn't print quite as much as, if you're using another platform like Webull or Dash Trader or Lightspeed. So there are some downsides to this. So you see that the level 2 looks a little bit different from what you might be used to. It's more of an order book style rather than NBBO data. And the level 2, or the time and sales, it updates, I think it's twice a second. Maybe it's 4 times a second, but it doesn't update based on every order that goes through, which is a little bit irritating because um, how I view it instead is I have it filtered by every order over 500, and I have them, rather than based on time, I have them based on size. So highest size at the top, lowest size towards the bottom. And so all that is for me is confirmation of I'm typically watching the ask right here and the bid right here throughout like my entire trade, any trade that I take. And then I can see the support and resistance levels here on the order book, which is kind of nice, but um, it's definitely not perfect market data by any means. I have to have this for API. I wish I could remove this, have a little bit more time and sales going, but oh well. And then the chart here is to see my positions. So this is not at all a good trade, so don't take my word for it because I should have gotten in on these moves. If you want to check in my weekly review, I just posted that about an hour ago, so you should check that out. Talk about my game plan for next week. Basically, we're forming a pullback pattern, looking to enter right here, staying super small size. But you can see the order executed really quickly. That's quite a quick order. You can see whenever you're in a position, I have it set up to show the ticker, if you're long or short, number of shares, average fill in the bid. I basically have all that information right here too. This is just so that if I was in on, say I accidentally switched over to a different ticker right now, I would still be able to see that I'm holding a position. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to see that at all. So that's why I have this. To some extent, the positions window is a little bit less significant rather than I am typically only watching over here on the level two, watching the bid, watching the ask, how many shares I have left, time and sales right here. The reason I have another chart here is that if I were to place an order on the ask, say an order up here to sell, I could see it here, but I couldn't really see it anywhere else very clearly. So it's kind of just a safety thing. But typically this is where I'm looking. Um, Another reason why I have this is because I can't click onto Chartswatcher. So you've seen this. If you want to rewind, see how it looks. But we're going to go into why everything is set up this way. Um, what was I? Oh yes, why I have a chart up here. So the reason why I have a chart up here is because I can use my cursor to see the actual levels of the hive candles like this. If I were to buy a breakout of this candle level, I could see it right there. Um, if I am clicked in, if I wanted to see that same information on Chartswatcher, I would either have to watch up here for the open, high, low, close, or have to click here and then click back before I execute, which I think is just a hassle. So I added an extra chart here just in case. Um, I have definitely considered switching to the DAS format of trading with CapitALL Markets Elite Group. So we can go into that here for fees and commissions. So execution speed is pretty quick. There's my setup. We'll go more in depth in my hotkeys in just a second, but here's like the fees and commission structure, um, etc. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the fee structure. You can always check out their website, CapitALL Markets Elite Group. That's where I've gotten this information. But at the time of this recording, there's some deals going on. So this promotion right here for the commission fees. Overall, fees are relatively low. Market data for CPro, the platform I'm using, is around $30 a month. I have thought about switching to using DAS Trader connected to CPro for execution, better level 2 time and sales. I haven't been able to justify it quite yet because it does come at an extra, $120 a month. But I think at some point I probably will. You can see the withdrawal fee is $60. Um, Platform switch fee to switch from CPro to DAS is $0, but to switch back is $100. Kind of annoying. You can see some other fees. Right now they have a nice promotion for ECN fees, all that, but relatively fees are quite cheap. This is a table comparing a bunch of different brokers that Ross Cameron has made. So you can see it's pretty high on the list. The execution speed is really quite quick. Um, you can see the share structure is relatively cheap. Whenever you're trading small size, especially with their promotion, fees are really not an issue at all. I can even show total my total commissions on 212 trades with, you know, uh, Total volume has been 565 shares for me. Very low, right? Very low volume. I'm still in alpha phase, basically, just um, trying to build my playbook, build metrics, stuff like that. I'm not trying to get rich right now. I'm trying to build a system that works. I do plan on sizing up, but really light total volume. And my commissions are 275. So on 500 something shares, $2.75 of commission. That is really quite light. Um, so recently, commissions have been really quite low. Their commission structure is much more favorable for starting out than something like Lightspeed. Um, but yes, so let's go back to okay, let's go back to this one. So you can see the comparison. This is on Ross's website for free and all that. But it is a quick order execution, low commission broker. You're not subject to the PDT rule since it's overseas, but that does um, that does come at some risks. So eventually I'll probably switch over to Dash Trader first and then to Lightspeed, but that's where we're at right now. So now let's talk about what should we talk about? Let's go into let's go into the platform first. We're going to do the application stuff at the very end. Um, but so platform here, once again, you can see it from all the video. You can see the instrument metrics. This is what I use. If you are trading the open at all, you'll probably want to add limit up, limit down to this. But it does take up more space, and I only trade pre-market currently, so I haven't been doing that. But these are the metrics I review or that I have on my level 2. You can see them right here. See level 2, etc. Positions, video, all that. So if I were to only use this platform and not use Chartswatcher, I will show you how I would set it up. Um, but I do have to pause this real quick. So while I'm getting this set up, you guys can check out the description for more resources, discount codes. There's a special offer CPro has been doing. I believe the link to that should be still accessible at the time of recording of this video. It cuts down on fees quite a bit. Um, definitely check that out. So let's come back. So if I were to trade only off of CPro, which I wouldn't do because I love Chartswatcher and it's such a great resource, I would set it up relatively like this. You have your different charts, 1 minute chart, daily chart, 5 minute, 5 second chart. They don't have a 10 second chart. Um, quite unfortunate. You only have options of 5 second or 1 minute. That is an unfortunate selling point for the platform. Um, level 2 time and sales positions window, pretty typical, right? Just in a bigger platform. So here's what happens if you go to demo mode. If you switch to your demo account, it'll show a couple things. One, it'll stop showing hard to borrow or easy to borrow on any stock. That happens on the symbol widget, on or the watch list widget, the level 2, um, and then down here it shows demo mode, and then also your fills get filled at fractions of a penny. So if we were to go if we were to add a trade widget, okay, so if you were to switch to demo mode, you'd see hard to borrow is removed on the level 2, hard to borrow over here is removed. You get fills at fractions of a penny. So when you're trading live, all your fills are going to look like this one right here to 2 decimal places. But whenever you're trading in the sim, sometimes you can get fills like this, 9999 or point 0.1, or even really weird ones like 0.2369, like that, right? That doesn't happen when you're live. So just be aware of those differences. Now I'll share my hotkeys. These are my trading hotkeys to buy. I've made another video on this that goes more in depth on my full platform or my full setup video. Basically, I have my hand position kind of like I'm playing video games. Pinky over shift and then WASD are typical keys for video games. My hand is right about there. And then to cancel all open orders, just in case. These are your selling hotkeys. Just closing the position. It gets you out at the bid. Usually, I think maybe sometimes they try to get you into market orders rather than selling at the bid if you're trading during market open. Don't quote me on that. But typically you can just expect to sell on the bid whenever you use these. So spacebar is my get all the way out hotkey. So yeah, now we'll talk about the actual process of funding CPro. Okay, so these are my hotkeys. It's like a visual representation of them. I just used Scotch tape and sticky notes to kind of elevate them so I could feel where my fingers are at all times because I had a lot of hotkey errors. And so yeah, I pinky on shift, press and hold down shift, and then buy, sell, 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 sell. So, and then these are the sell at the ask, up, $1 a share or up 40 cents a share, up 20 cents a share. So these are profit targets. I don't actually use those very much anymore because I found that whenever I placed one of these orders, it made it to where whenever I tried to bail out, it actually executed my order slower because it had to cancel this order first and then execute. So buy 2 shares currently, or 50 cents of risk per share, 20 cents of risk per share, 10 cents of risk per share, sell a quarter, sell half, sell full, and then cancel all open orders just in case. So those are my hotkeys. So let's go into the steps of, funding CPro. Once again, it's not at all financial advice by any means. This is my personal experience, what I've done, and to try to make that a little bit easier for anybody else interested. But not affiliated with this broker. They do carry a lot more risk being an overseas broker. So be mindful of that and do your own research, please. So step 1 is to complete their application. You can check out find their website. I think there's a link below that I found to give you a little bit of a discount on it. I don't get any kickback or anything. But you can sign up, submit your application. Then you fund your account. You'll get this email once you have funded your account successfully with temporary user ID and password. And then I funded it via Wise for international transfer, but some banks can wire directly. I added money to the account and then uploaded the details for CapitALL Markets Elite Group in the upload section. Really quite handy. You can log into this client portal, I believe is where you'll find it. You'll get these details. Obviously I can't share mine. Account number, Swift bank code. So you just take a picture of that in the upload section. It makes it really easy. Then once your account has been activated, you can start trading. So you download the app for your respective platform. You sign in and you can start trading. So yeah, that is really, I think that's it to the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. One more thing is that I got a question about the API linking. So I do want to showcase that where possible. This will just take a second. So this is more of a Chartswatcher related thing, but it also obviously use it for CPro. So right here, I have my stuff pulled back up. If you're using Chartswatcher, you can get the Chartswatcher desktop connector. And then for any of these platforms, you can link them easily. But if you have a broker that's not listed on here, so for me, I use generic automation. I don't know why I'm stuttering. Okay. You can record a new one. Click on CapitALL, start recording. It'll click into your broker, and you simply want to click wherever you want it to go, right? You want to make sure defocus is not on because you want to be ready to trade once you open it. At least for me. So now what that does is if you go ahead and click on one of these, it'll paste it into there and you can see that it updates. Now sometimes CPro does this where you have to refresh this widget. That has only happened to me very recently. Probably a bug, they'll probably fix it, but just be mindful of that. But you can see, I click on Weedo and it will pop up into my broker. So that's super nice. That's how you use the API. If you're on any of these other ones, it's a little bit different, but and they give instructions. But this is what I use. Super duper easy. Makes trading a lot smoother. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Feel free to check out the rest of this playlist here for more details on learning how to trade. And thank you guys for watching. God bless. See ya.